Oh, come on, like, what are we supposed to do about this?
No, I don't normally talk a lot about Irish cinema on the channel, and that's because there's really not much to talk about. But occasionally, and it really is just occasionally, something will pop into the cinemas that's been locally produced for a little go-around, and I'll head down, try it out with low expectations, because generally they're a big old pile of shite. But this is different. You see, there's a popular theory around these parts that Bram Stoker didn't actually get all of his ideas for writing Dracula from Vlad the Impaler, but instead from some part of his childhood growing up in Ireland. Is it a sound theory? Sure, it's as well reasoned and thought out as the ice wall theory that stops all of the water falling off the flat earth. What? Don't question it. So there's these two guys that they live in this small town called 6 Mile Hill, where there's this grave of a ancient creature which supposedly inspired Bram Stoker. And they just, you know, they don't believe it. Nobody in these parts believes it. And so when Eugene helps his dad Francie dig up that whole area to put in a bypass around the town, and they awaken the creature, you know, everyone's ruddy surprised, aren't they? Yeah. Now, instead of being a normal vampire, blood just like if it's near you, blood just trickles out of you and goes towards it and it feeds on it that way, which is a badass way of reinventing, I mean, pre-cursing the vampire. Oh, but this is a Dracula origin story. They're not ripping it in any way. Jeez. Ridiculous. And the whole thing is really well done. It's really well thought out. It's unique. It's got the small town feel that it's kind of forced into, but it turns that into feeling like an advantage as opposed to a hindrance. The characters and actors work really well together. The story it's ludicrous. It leans into the ludicrous, and it feels, actually, I wouldn't compare it to, but I'd put it in the same vein as what Shaun of the Dead did for zombies, or what Dog Soldiers, if you've ever seen that, did for werewolves. It's this British working class style of horror, which, I mean, not as much with Dog Soldiers, but does lean into some form of comedy. This more so. It's ludicrous at times, and it is hilarious. There are some scenes that are marvelous. The whole thing is well enough done that you won't be disappointed if you go just to enjoy it. You know, it's silly, but it's actually good as a film, not just good for a locally produced Irish film. It's a good movie. It's enjoyable, and I'm giving the Draculads 64 out of 100. That would have been a great title. Well, that's all for this one. I've done, like 400 review videos? A lot of streams. A lot of fan casts. A lot of other stuff. You know, you can just check it all out on the channel. There's like 850 videos / streams now. Oh boy, that's a lot. But you go ahead, you subscribe, or you don't. You know, I can't tell you what to do. Subscribe.